Everybody, here for Basketball Wives season 5 episode 4. So let's get into it. It started where it left off last week with the sip and shop event, and the ladies are basically waiting for Shaunie because Tammy said that Shaunie was on her way. So while they're waiting, Jackie is sitting there like, Angel! And then she hands the girl a cupcake wrapper. I'm like, Jackie, you couldn't get your ass up and go throw that away yourself. So Brandy, they're still trying to get Brandy to apologize to what's her name? Shaunie, if Shaunie comes or whatever. And Brandy is over this whole situation. So Jackie and Duffy are discussing the situation. And Jackie is telling Duffy, listen, I know Brandy may be going through her little tiff or whatever with Shaunie, but I want you to meet Shaunie so you can get your own judgment and not base it off of Brandy and her feelings. So Duffy is willing to meet her, but just wants to make sure it's okay with Brandy. And so Jackie is amping it up like, oh, you can't meet Shaunie if Brandy doesn't say it's okay. And Duffy is like, no, it's a respect thing. That's my friend. I know they got their issues going on, but I would never want my friend to feel uncomfortable with me meeting somebody that she's not getting along with. And I have to say, Duffy is a really, really good friend because she is putting Brandy's feelings first. She knows that Brandy has a situation with Shaunie, but she's the type of friend that's like, listen, I know you got a situation with this person, but I want to meet them to have my own judgment. And I feel like Brandy and Duffy have that type of relationship where it's like not petty, because some people are territorial with their friends, and they feel like, oh, if you talking to her, that me and you ain't friends. No, you can be a grown woman and you can be cordial and you can hang out with a person that your friend doesn't like, just as long as those people are never in a room together, or if they are, they on their best behavior. Like, there's ways around it. And I kind of don't feel like people should not be friends with people who, because they don't like somebody, they don't like the person, they don't want to be friends with that person. Like, it's just petty. And if you're a grown woman, you won't let what the next woman does like affect you or whatever. So all this time I'm thinking that Shaunie is on her way, because the episode last week left off with somebody arriving to the party with yellow shoes on, and come to find out there was a bouquet of flowers sent and it was from Shaunie. So she didn't make it. So Brandy is relieved that Shaunie couldn't make it and that Tammy was leaving. So, Angel Love is basically asking questions. Again, the girl is new to the group. She just wants to know what's going on and like why. But I mean, she was pushing a little bit too hard and saying, wait, isn't Shaunie the boss? Isn't Shaunie the reason why we're all here? Da 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 da. And that made Brandy feel some kind of way. I mean, technically speaking, Shaunie is the reason. She's part of the reason why Basketball Wives is what it is. But Shaunie is not the overall boss, Shaunie is an executive producer, yes. But I don't think Shaunie can do the hiring or the firing or anything. She has a hand in the show, but I don't think she has the power to hire or fire or do anything with the cast. So because Angel Love was asking those questions, Brandy's getting irritated like, yo, you always got something to say, mind your business. So Angel is like, I can't ask questions or whatever. So when they were in the back of the room, Brandy thought she heard Angel Love call her a bitch or whatever. So when she was on the phone with Malaysia, explaining to Malaysia what was going on, all Malaysia heard on the other end of the phone was bitch this and bitch that, not knowing that Angel Love said, I didn't call you a bitch, but if I wanted to call you a bitch, I would have called you a bitch, blah, blah, blah. So Malaysia's on the phone like, what? So Brandy was like, listen, I'll call you back. So Angel Love leaves, Tammy leaves, and Malaysia pulls up out of nowhere in her truck, sweatpants on, no makeup on, hair in a bun, and she's like, listen, thou shalt not mess with my best friend, blah, blah, blah. So Brandy explains the situation, and Malaysia's like, listen, I don't know who was going to get it, but I knew somebody was going to get it. So Brandy explained what happened. Duffy now, she's doing a 180 with Malaysia. And she's like, you know what? I thought that Malaysia wasn't really Brandy's friend, but now I see any chick that could roll out of bed and come out and help her best friend. That's all. She's all right with me. I got a newfound respect for her. So I mean, I get it, but Malaysia had me dying. I was like, yo, she literally like got out of her bed. Like, that's a real true friend. I need a friend like Malaysia. I need friends like Malaysia and Duffy, and I will be set. So, of course, Angel Brinks feels like it was class, and she's like, oh, that's tacky. You pulled up in sweatpants and sweatshirt like you was about to fight. That's tacky and that's classless, whatever. And I'm like, Angel, just stop. Just stop. She's doing what she thought was best for her friend or whatever, because her friend is technically speaking is like outnumbered by the rest of y'all or whatever. So that's why she pulled up. And like, it's like whatever, So like I said, Duffy was impressed, and she has like a newfound respect for Malaysia. So now we get to Angel Brinks and Angel Love, and Angel Love everything was like a blur to her, but she remembers like some of the details of what happened. So she's like, I remember drinking that liquor that Jackie had or whatever, and it had me dizzy and woozy, and I'm like, well, what kind of Molly does Jackie have in her Henny or whatever? So she tells what she does remember, and she says she does remember asking questions and feeling like she didn't have a right to ask a question within the group. And she's like, I feel like Brandy always has a problem with me saying something. So she said she remembers Malaysia arriving, and she was embarrassed or whatever, but I don't think Angel Love didn't mean any harm. She just wanted to know what was going on. So now we get to Malaysia and Duffy, and Duffy again has a newfound respect for her, and she admits that when she first met Malaysia, she felt like Malaysia was a little bit bougie and felt like she was above everybody. So Malaysia kind of laughed, and she's like, some of that is true. She was like, my whole thing is, I'm just not, when I meet new people, I have to fill them out first before I can say, hey, that's my friend or whatever. I can't just jump on the bandwagon of, oh, we friends, we cool, we this, we that. I have to fill you out first. So Duffy is like, you know what? I understand why she acts the way she acts and why she is the way she is. And you know what? She's all right with me. Any person that could jump in their car and try and save their friend is all right with me. So now we get to Jackie and Brandy. And Jackie wants to lose weight. So she does this thing called body pods. But the minute she gets in the daggone pod, she is hyperventilating like crazy. And both of them, they said their ears was popping. It was just some weird, like, people in LA do some weird stuff. So, she was like, again, Jackie somehow compares that to sex. I think Jackie is just horny this season. Like, Doug ain't doing his job. This is the third, what is this? No, it's the fourth episode, right? And this chick done brought up sex from the first to the fourth episode of this season. So Jackie brings up that she feels like Shaunie and Brandy should have a conversation. And Brandy is just at the point where she doesn't want to be disrespected by Shaunie. She says she feels like Shaunie thinks that because she's the boss, she could treat people and talk to people any kind of way she wants to. And she's tired of being disrespected. So now we get to like a deep part of the episode with Angel Brinks and her son Zari. So she's taking her son to go get like a cool pair of glasses because her son, he's a kid who's bullied and he has no father figure or whatever, and she wants to do something to make him feel better. So they're picking out cool glasses, and he admits that, when people ask him about his dad, he said he doesn't have a dad, and he wishes his dad was around. So Angel said that when she was 9 months pregnant with him, 8 or 9 months pregnant with him, his dad committed suicide, and she asked, well, why do you say that you don't have a dad? And he's like, because I don't like to say that my dad died. And I'm like, oh, that is sad. He doesn't want to admit it because I guess it feels too real once he admits it. So it breaks his heart. And she's like, Tyreek, who I think is his sister's father, she's like, Tyreek is your stepdad and you have uncles and cousins and all of that who love you. You're never without a dad. Your dad went to go be with the angels. And she's like, I love my son. I always want to lead him on the right path, and I always want him to feel like he can come to me for anything. So it breaks my heart to know that he's sad about his dad not being there. And I'm like, that really is sad. It's a sad situation. And it's something that he's been holding in, not only Angel, but, she said that was her husband and he killed himself. And I mean, that is a sad situation. So she's like, she always wants him to come to her no matter how hard the situation is or how hurt they'll be or whatever. So, I mean, I thought this was a really touching scene, like a really real scene with Angel and her son. So now we get to Jackie, Shaunie, and Duffy. And they're explaining what happened at the party with Brandy and whatnot. Jackie's explaining to Shaunie what happened at the party with Brandy, and then Duffy arrives. So Shaunie explains her feelings about the situation, and Shaunie is like, listen, this whole situation is like the bottom of the totem pole for me. I don't feel like arguing. I don't care about it. It's done. She's the one that's making a big deal out of nothing. So Duffy is like, you know what? Shaunie is rude, and I could see why she would be called a bitch. So Duffy feels like she's going to convince Brandy to sit down with Shaunie, but won't allow anything bad to happen, which is, a good girlfriend good girlfriend move. But I don't think anything is going to happen. This whole situation ain't even that serious, So finally, she convinced Brandy to do it. They have to sit down. Malaysia just wants them to talk. Jackie thinks that she needs to apologize or whatever. So Jackie is sitting there with Tammy and Shaunie, and they're laughing and whatnot. But when Brandy, Duffy, and Malaysia arrive, it's an awkward silence. So they broke the ice or whatever. And I think they said the beef stems from an interview that Shaunie did. And basically saying that Brandy called Shaunie a million times to beg for her job or whatever. And she's like, well, I wasn't being literal when I said it, but you did call me a few times to ask about your job and whatnot. So Brandy is just at the point where she's sick of Shaunie's holier than thou attitude. And Shaunie is like, she doesn't care who the boss is, and she's just done with Brandy. And Brandy is like, Shaunie is like, I don't know why you feel like I'm the boss. She was like, because you talking about some thank you for your services. She was like, yeah, at that point in time, it was thank you for your services because I was done with you. Like, I'm done with you now. So, I mean, I can get why Brandy feels the way that she feel, because Shaunie, I mean, I don't know. I think everybody else felt like Shaunie made a boss move in saying the whole thank you for your services thing. But I feel like if Shaunie really, like, to me, last season, Shaunie and Tammy came on this season to bring up ratings. And it's like, to me, it's old now. Like, Basketball Wives, the whole franchise is old now. Like, the old Basketball Wives, the chicks who was on the old Basketball Wives, they done moved on. They done got something different. So it's like Shaunie and Tammy are clinging on to something that doesn't make sense anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really care to see Shaunie and Tammy on Basketball Wives. Like, honestly, I really don't. And I guess people feel like bringing Tammy and Shaunie onto the LA franchise brought up the ratings, but to me, Basketball Wives has been boring since the other one went off, and that was Miami. So it's pointless to keep having seasons of LA with nobody. Like, it was a lot. Like, honestly, to me, if they bring the Govans back, like if they bring Laura and Gloria back to Basketball Wives LA, I feel like their ratings would be through the roof, because Gloria and Laura have been going through it the past couple of years. So I think if they would have brought them back, because honestly, that's why I started watching Basketball Wives LA, for the Govan sisters. So it's like, once the Govan sisters left, it's like, man, okay, whatever. So I just feel like Shaunie is a bit unprofessional, because you want to be a boss, but you fraternizing and hanging out with your cast members. That's why they're not going to take you serious, and they're going to call you every name in the book. That's just my opinion. But that's how the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. So far, this season is annoying the hell out of me, and it's boring and whatever, but I guess I'll keep reviewing it. But like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Later.